Good evening and welcome to the Trent Webinar Advantage series. Tonight's topic is starting your Trent journey, next steps and everything you need to know. So my name is Sasha and I'm the manager of recruitment at Trent University, and with me tonight I have Hillary Stafford from our student orientation, our summer orientation team, and Hillary is a student. She's just completed her 4th year and she's going to be starting her Bachelor of Education at Trent this fall. And I also have Robin Gundy with me from the housing office. So she's here to answer all the questions you have about residence, living in residence, and off campus. Off camera, we have 2 other people. So if you're interested, you've applied to our Durham campus or you've accepted an offer to our Durham campus and you're headed to Durham, Tawny Weiss, an enrollment advisor at Durham, is going to be answering questions. She's going to be typing the answers in. So she's off camera, but please, if you're from Durham, definitely ask your questions and Tawny will respond. We also have an admissions specialist with us tonight, Carol Weaver-Lloyd. So if you have any questions about admissions or how to accept your offer, Carol is here and she will be typing answers as well. So please feel free to ask your questions about those things. And then we're going to start into a bit of a presentation. I have some things that I'd like you to consider, some things that are next steps that you should be preparing for in order to show up in September all ready to start into your classes. At the end of the presentation, the 3 of us here will be fielding questions. So if you want to start typing in your questions in the chat room, we'll be answering those questions live so that everyone can have the benefit of hearing the answers. Okay, are we ready to go? Excellent. So let's start with our presentation. So, next steps and everything you need to know. First of all, what we're going to cover tonight is a few different things. We want to talk about student number, email, and your MyTrent. These are important things that you need to know to be prepared for September. After that, we're going to talk about the community at Trent and ways to get involved and what's available to you. Of course, we're going to cover residence and housing. We'll touch on course registration and then the summer orientation options that are available to you before you come, student cards, and finally we're going to finish off with some dates and deadlines. So let's talk about student number. Know your Trent identification number. So this is the number that you received in your offer letter, and this number has appeared on all of the admission communications that we have sent to you at this point. It will be your official student number. It's good to memorize it and keep it handy, and once you learn it, you've got it for the rest of your life. So please do keep track of that number and work on memorizing that. If you haven't gone ahead and set up your Trent email, you will want to consider doing that next. It's an important thing. Once all your professors are going to be communicating with you through your Trent email. Of course, everyone has their own personal email, but this will be for your university life the most important email address that you have. So set up your Trent email address through your MyTrent portal. What is MyTrent portal? Excellent. So the MyTrent portal is one-stop shopping for accessing your email, important courses. It's where you're going to register for your courses. It's where you learn news and you can check on your financials. So how much you've paid for your tuition, how much is still owing, those kinds of balances. There's all sorts of great information for you at your MyTrent portal. So right now you only see a limited amount of information, but once you're a full student, you show there's going to be lots of information there for you. So that can be found at trentu.ca/MyTrent portal. Community. So if you're at our Durham campus, there's a lot of opportunities because Durham is a very tight-knit community. So there's so many ways to participate, whether it be in a club or a group, or you can attend events held by the Durham Students Association. You can visit the Oshawa Civic Center. You can meet with an academic advisor and so much more. If you're living in residence and attending our Durham campus, your Durham Region Transit Pass is going to allow you to travel to and from the campus for free within the Durham area. So there's lots of perks for being at that campus, and it is kind of a one-stop shopping. The main office at Durham is really your starting point for so much. There's great information there. That's where Tawny works, who's our enrollment advisor, amazing secretaries there, academic advisors, and so many people to help you answer all your questions. So stop by the main office if you have any questions about that. For the Peterborough campus, and those of you that will be coming to Peterborough, we're a little bit more decentralized. It's a larger campus, so we have different options available to you. And part of being a part of the Peterborough campus is that you're going to be in a college. So a college is a smaller community of living and learning within the greater Trent whole. So it's your home away from home, a place to make friends and participate in lots of things. If you're living in residence, that is where your college is. So some of them are Watanabe, Zosky College, Lady Eden College, and Champlain College. And so if you're living in residence, those names are probably familiar to you. And if not, you have the chance to choose your own college affiliation at the end of June. So that's available now. Is that right, Hillary?
Yes, it is.
So students living off campus, they can be choosing their own college affiliation. And how are they doing that through the Trent U College's website?
I believe you can do it on your My Trent account. So
Okay.
under the, I believe it's the services tab, then you can check it right there.
Okay, so on the My Trent portal, you can do it under your services tab. So if you're not living in residence and you wanted to choose one of the 4 specific colleges, that's where you would do it, under the My Trent portal services tab. Okay. Residence and housing. Robin, I bet you have some things to add for us today here. But most important, residence assignments are going out soon, July 5th, just around the corner. I know so many of you are anxiously awaiting which building you're going to be in, which room number are you going to have, do you know anything about your roommate? So all that information will be coming to you July 5th. And within that, as soon as you receive that email, you're going to have 2 weeks to accept that offer of that room assignment. It's really important that you keep to that 2-week deadline to respond as to whether that room is your choice and that works for you. Move-in information. There's going to be some more coming to you, so watch for that email in August. That's going to be coming from the housing office. But in the meantime, if you wanted to go to trentu.ca/housing, there is more information there about what to bring to residents. And Robin, tell us what else can be found on that site? What kind of information is great for students to know?
Absolutely. So we do have a general overview of what move-in day has looked like in previous years. So if you guys want to check that out and get a little excited about what things are coming your way, you will be getting an email later in July or early August giving you more details and more specified instructions. But if you guys want to check out that website, you'll be able to see what kind of goes on move-in day, which is super exciting.
Perfect. And then there's lots of photos on the Facebook page, right? The Trent U Housing Facebook page. Yeah, because everyone wants to see the photos.
Yeah,
right?
so we have photos of all the residence rooms on that page. So if you guys are trying to figure out what room you're assigned to, we don't have specific rooms, but we kind of have the layout of the rooms, what's in the rooms. We have them set up. So it's cool to kind of look through and plan for yourselves.
Okay, amazing. All right, moving on to exploring course options. We all know, and you would have received communication letting you know that as a first-year student, you can begin registering for courses June 24th. So that was last week that the course registration opened, and you're going to be doing that through the My Trent portal on the academic record tab. So that's in your Trent account. You can go there and you can register for courses. If you find it confusing or you have any questions about it, you might want to visit the academic advising website to find out a little bit more about course descriptions and learn how to build a timetable. So there's a great link there for you if you want to know more. And there's also some online helps. So some videos to walk you through how to register for courses, the things to think about while you're planning your schedule. So it is an important time, and everyone's anxious to know what they're going to be taking. So please do log into your My Trent portal and start thinking about registering for courses. If you need help, there are helps for you. So that's where the summer orientation teams come in. So for our Peterborough campus, you can email us at orientation@trentu.ca or give us a shout. And for the Durham campus, once again, as I mentioned before, it's that main office. So Durham@trentu.ca, or give us a call. And there's lots of people on, waiting to help you with course registration. Don't be stressed about registering for courses. You do want to give it some thought and take some time and think about it. It is important. So plan your first year well, and do seek support if you need any help. Summer orientation. So summer orientation has already started at both campuses. We've already held a few events. For Peterborough, we have a few more coming up. You can bring a family friend, or you can bring your parents can come because there's going to be sessions for them as well if you'd like. So there's lots going on, information sessions, tour your colleges, register for courses. If you want to wait and do it in person when you come, you can do that as well. So those are the remaining 4 dates for the Peterborough orientations. And the 18th is an evening session for transfer and mature students. If it's the only time you can come and you really want to come, sure, you're more than welcome. If you're a transfer student and a mature student, you might want to make that one the one that you attend, because it will be targeted a little bit more for transfer and mature students. Is there anything else you can tell us, Hillary, about what happens? I know it's your role to make this event happen. What goes on?
Thanks. Yeah. So one thing that's really interesting that we do every morning, kind of before the opening remarks, we have what's called a student experience panel. So we have about 4 students and actually some recent Trent grads who sit on that panel. And they just answer some questions in regards to being a student and what their transition to university was like. And then they also take questions from the audience. So if anyone just has questions about, say, the buses or something like that, then they do have that opportunity to speak with those students. So I recommend that everyone tries to attend that, because it is a really great resource to speak with students. And then also at these events, we have our services fair. So different departments from Trent will come and they'll have a table or a booth set up so you can come and ask them your questions. Housing will be there, financial aid, the wellness center, the colleges all have booths set up. So I really recommend people checking that out as well, because you can get all of your questions answered. And you can also get some different resources there as well.
All right. Brilliant. So come and visit Hillary. She'll be there at the summer orientation. You can ask her all your questions. Okay. One more exciting piece for Peterborough is Bring It On. And I think messaging is starting to go out about that now. So Bring It On is a little different than a day orientation session, because this is an overnight. You get to sleep over. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're really, really excited for this. We've been doing a lot of planning. So Bring It On is happening August 6th and 7th, and there is the opportunity for students to stay the night of the 5th if they're coming from far away and you'd like to stay the night before. That is an option as well. But so what we do is there's all different kinds of events. So we have canoeing, rock climbing. We're going to do an introduction to humanities. We're going to try and do some things with the Indigenous Studies program. So it's all different events to try and get you oriented with Trent, but also to meet new students who are in kind of the same position as you. So it's just a great weekend to get to know everyone and to get used to the Trent campus as well.
And so people are staying in residence for that, right?
Yes, it'll be in Zosky College.
In Zosky College for that weekend. Okay, that's so exciting. I know the students that attend really love Bring It On. For students that are attending our Durham campus, we have drop-in summer orientation for the rest of the summer. So if you missed the summer academic kickstart, which happened a little bit earlier this summer in June, it's still not too late. You can drop in if you need help with registering for courses, you have any questions. And so that's on select Thursdays throughout the summer, and you can find more information and available dates and times by emailing durham@trentu.ca or the phone number there. So we've got lots of great support for students at Durham as well. Ordering your student card. This is something that you can do in advance of showing up in September. So it's really easy. You just go online, trentu.ca/Trent card, and then you don't have to wait in the line. You're just going to pick up your card and you'll be all ready. So take an awesome picture of yourself. It's going to be on your student card for 4 years. Is that right? You don't get to change unless you lose your student card.
You keep it after you graduate.
And you keep it after you graduate. So amazing. So take a great picture and post that, and have your student card waiting for you when you show up and ready to go, which is also your bus pass, and it gets you into all sorts of different things on campus. Dates and deadlines. Here's an important slide that we want to quickly cover. So fall term tuition fee is due September 1st. That's an important one you want to write down. You want to make sure that you're paying your tuition. Residence move-in day for the Durham campus is September 3rd. Residence move-in day for Peterborough, and the start of the fall orientation week is September 4th. So usually always falls around Labor Day. So that's exciting. Pack up, be all ready to move into residence. And then for September 6th and 7th, that is Durham campus fall startup. So that's the beginning of their orientation week at the Durham campus. And September 8th, big day, that's when your classes begin. So there's lots going on in those orientation weeks to prepare you for your classes, to get you there on time, to help you meet friends and make sure that you have everything you need to be prepared. So that brings us to the end of the presentation portion. Now we're going to open it up for some questions, and I'm going to moderate, so I'll be asking the questions. And I think we're going to go live. Oh, here we are. Excellent. Hi, welcome back. It's nice to be on camera again. So I'm going to start just checking the questions. How do I scroll up here? 2 fingers. 2 fingers. No, I want to scroll up on this. I want to go to the top of this. I'm sorry, Yash, can you just help me scroll up for 1 moment, please? The chat, I just want to go to the top of the chat. I'm not doing that. Is the #1 question as a Peterborough student I can take classes at Durham campus too? Dan? Okay, so Dan? Dan, okay, I'm going to answer your question, Dan. Should I be able to see my Trent mail on the portal yet? Do we have access to emails on the portal?
The Gmail, yes. Yeah.
The Trent email?
If you go to your services tab and then scroll down to the section that says IT, there's going to be a little icon that says a Gmail icon. So you're going to click on that, and that will open your Trent U email.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I got thing to start on. Sorry, Carol, I can't. As a Peterborough student, can I take classes at Durham? Yes, definitely, Rachel, we can do that. And what documents need to be sent for scholarships? Is that what you're planning to answer, Carol?
No, I was looking at if you receive and accept an offer, you should have access to your Trent email tab. So the student may look into checking with our office to see if they have submitted their acceptance all the way through.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So Anna Patricia, sorry, I'm really struggling with this. I'm going to switch. I can't scroll up and how am I scrolling up and down on here?
Finger. You put your 2 fingers.
Oh, I got it. Sorry, my mistake. All right. Okay, now we're on again. All right. So if you're receiving OSAP, do you still pay at the 1st of September? That's a hard question.
My understanding, as someone who's gotten OSAP, is that you're able to wait for your OSAP to come in, so you don't need to pay it up front. You can choose to do that if you'd like to, and then your OSAP can go back into your bank account, or you can have the option to choose for OSAP to send the money directly to Trent, and if you do choose that option, then it will just be applied to your student card, or to your student account, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's scroll down a little bit here and see what else we've got. Bring It On. How much should students expect to pay for Bring It On?
Yeah, so the cost for the Saturday and the Sunday of Bring It On is $100 plus HST, so it comes to $113. And if you choose to spend the Friday night before, that's an additional cost as well. So with taxes, that comes to $68.70.
Okay, perfect. And a question from Bronwyn. How does the bus system work? So we're going to start with Peterborough. Tell us, Hillary, how the bus system works for Peterborough.
Sure. So the way that the Trent bus system works is that you get a bus pass that you pay when you pay your tuition fees. It's included in those fees. And so we have a West Bank and an East Bank bus that come to campus, and they're here every 10 minutes. So say there's a bus on the West Bank at 12 and 12:10, then on the East Bank of the river, there'll be another bus at 12:05 and 12:15. And then there's also 2 city buses that come to campus as well. So one is the George North, which comes to the West Bank of the river, and the other is the Nicholas Park, which comes to the East Bank of the river. And with your Trent bus pass, you're able to use that on any Peterborough city bus, so not only the Trent buses, but all of the city buses. And typically the bus takes about 20 minutes to get right from campus to downtown. And so it is a very good system. It's quite reliable. And I know as a student, I really appreciate using it for sure.
Okay, thanks. And I think, Bronwyn, you were also wondering whether you can stay in residence all 4 years.
Absolutely. So we do have an upper year community. So that registration opens a bit earlier than first year registration opens. So if you do want to stay in residence past your first year, keep an eye out for those dates. It tends to open in February. And then we have all upper years living together in a community, which is a really cool opportunity for them. And there's a lot of cool programming that goes on. So absolutely you can.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Suraj has a question about how will he know which college he's living in. I'm guessing it's about residence, and you've already paid the deposit, so I'm sure that's a residence question. So it's July 5th.
Absolutely.
Right.
So if you paid your $500 deposit before our June 2nd deadline at 4 p.m., you should be finding out on July 5th where you will be.
Perfect. And also paying tuition, we had those dates earlier. Hillary, would you mind looking and just checking on when the tuition, I think it was September 1st.
September 1st. Yes.
Yeah, so September 1st is the date that you want to pay the tuitions, Abraham. And just dropping a course now and changing it before classes start affect anything, either scholarship. So I guess, Bronwyn, the most important thing is if you are scholarship eligible, you need to keep your scholarship be in a full course load. So you need to have 5 courses. So if you're dropping a course and you're limiting the amount of courses you're taking, that yes, it will affect your scholarship. If you're replacing it with another course so that you're in a full course load, then you're fine. So you might just want to check that, and you can call us at the 1-800 number and ask us about that, or email liaison@trentu.ca, and we can answer those questions about your scholarship eligibility based on your course load. Okay. What time do the orientation sessions start in Peterborough?
Great question. So the student experience panel that I was mentioning, it starts at 8:30 in the morning. If you're choosing not to come to that, then our typical opening remarks, they start at 9:30 in the morning.
Perfect. Okay. Anna Patricia would like to know more about double degrees, and is it possible to do an exchange program? So yes, you can do both. You could do a double degree and an exchange program. That would be tricky, but we have lots of joint majors. We have double majors as well. So a joint major is basically half course load in one program and half course load in another program, and you can partner a variety of different things together. You can partner science and arts together, or you could do like a biology and a chemistry if you want to stick in the sciences. And then if you're thinking about studying abroad, we do offer study abroad to more than 40 countries. So there's a huge variety of places that you can go and study in the world. You're paying Trent tuition fees for that study abroad year, and you go and live in another country and meet new people, travel around, and bring all of your credit from those courses back to your Trent degree. Most students do it in their 3rd year. We have a study abroad office here that you can come and talk. You can talk to the staff there, learn about the different university options abroad, the different countries that you can be traveling to. It's something I did and had a great experience doing, so I certainly encourage people to think about it. So yes, double major, joint major, and you can study abroad. Okay. Documents need to be sent for scholarships. As a Peterborough student, can I take classes at the Durham campus? I don't know. We may have answered that already, but yes, you can. You can take, whether you're a Durham student and you want to take courses at Peterborough, that's possible, or you're a Peterborough student and you want to take courses in Durham. When you're registering for courses, that's when you're deciding. So just look at the timetables that are offered at both campuses and choose the courses that work for you. You will have a home-based campus, but you can register for other courses at other campuses if you would like. What was the link for course registration? Did we respond to that one? What was the link that describes courses to register for, and how do I know which would benefit me the most? Okay, so that was the academic advising website. and it was a bit of a long link. It was trentu.ca/advising, and we'll put it up on the webinar for you, /advising/first year selecting and registering .php. Okay, so we've got that, and we'll post that for you because I think that's an important one. And how do you know which would benefit you most? So it's a little bit of a tough question. In your first year, you have you have a variety of different courses that you can be taking. So whatever program you're in, if you're in a very concrete program, you're in a sciences program, you're probably going to be a little bit more regimented in some of the courses that you're taking. For example, if you're in nursing, you're going to have specific courses in your first year that you have to take with only 1 or 2 elective options. If you're in a general arts or science program, you have a lot more elective options. But basically, say for example, you are coming into English, you're going to have 1 or 2 English courses in your first year, but you have lots of room for elective credits. So you could be taking a cultural studies, you could take a business course, you could take an anthropology or a psychology course. The first year of your studies at Trent is your best opportunity to take a variety of courses. So don't feel like if you're coming into physics, the only thing you can study is physics. You could take lots of variety at that point, because as you go up, your studies are going to narrow a little bit more, and you're probably going to find that you're taking more courses within your specific program. So first year, don't panic, and you could always, in your first couple of weeks of classes, try other courses. So even although you've got your timetable set up, if you feel like you want to check out a different course, or you want to drop a course and pick up a different one, there's opportunity for that. Am I right, Hillary?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we can do that in our first week of classes. Great. All right. Will I be sent a bill for residence and or tuition prior to September deadline? Is there anything going out about that for housing?
So for residents, you'll have information in the letter that you're going to be getting July 5th, and it'll outline everything. If you do have any specific questions, I definitely would recommend emailing us at residents@trentu.ca if you need any kind of bill or documentation like that. But you will be sent instructions for sure.
And do you know anything about if there's a tuition?
I know if you check your
Announcement going
student
out.
account, it does get listed on your student account,
Okay.
which is through My Trend.
Okay, awesome. So those that should come to you. As well, can you have a refund for the money you pay? If I'm guessing, Abraham, if you decide not to attend Trent, there is a refund schedule based on when you decide to leave the institution before coming. So I would go to what would that link be? I would imagine that would be student accounts, a student accounts or financial services web link. We'll see if we can find that for you, and we'll post that. Okay. Is the gym membership part of tuition? Yes, it is. Hillary, why don't you tell us what's included in your tuition and ancillary costs?
Sure. So as part of your tuition, you pay for your classes. So you also get your bus pass, which I had mentioned, and includes your gym membership as well. So with the gym membership, you have access to Trent's Athletic Center. So there's the pool there. There's a rock climbing wall. There's weight machines. Treadmills, ellipticals, that kind of thing. You also have the opportunity to register for different classes. So say you're interested in yoga or kickboxing, that kind of thing. There is an additional cost for that, but it is I think it's really well worth it. It's very fun. In addition to that, you also will be charged for TCSA health benefits. So say you did have health benefits under your parents, you would have an opportunity to opt out of these afterwards, but that is something that will be charged to you within your tuition fees as well.
Okay, perfect. And for the Durham campus, it's more or less the same. But Tawny, if there are any differences, please note them for us. And then I'm just going to pass Brianna's question to you as well, Hillary. So when registering for courses, are students supposed to choose for just for the winter or the fall semester, or do they do both semesters at the same time?
So it's totally up to you and whatever you prefer. I know a lot of students like to go ahead and plan out their full year, so they will register for both semesters. You can always make changes to your winter semester into this fall semester as well. So say, for example, in November or December, you want to make a change, then you can always do that. It's not set in stone right now. But we do also have some students who only register for the fall, and then as it gets closer to the winter semester, they will register once they have a better idea of what kind of courses they're interested in and that kind of thing.
Perfect, thank you. And a question for you,
Okay.
Robin. How can students get into residence if they missed the deadline to
Okay.
apply for residence? Is it still possible if they're first year students?
So you can always apply. We do have a wait list right now, but we also encourage students who have missed the deadline and are looking for a spot to stay. In Peterborough, we do partner with Places for Students, and there's a link on our website, which is trentu.ca/housing. So that offers some alternative housing options, but you can always apply and be placed on a wait list. But there's no guarantee that you will be receive a spot by July 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty. We're
We
getting full.
we are getting very full. Yes.
Awesome. That's a great thing. Okay, so one more course registration question, or actually it's more about payment, and I think I'm going to take a guess at it, and Hillary, you can correct me.
Mhm.
But if you're taking a year-long course, when do you pay for it? Do you pay in the fall, or half in the winter and half in the fall? I kind of feel like it's a 60-40 for
Mhm.
your tuition. You pay 60% of your tuition in the fall.
I believe it's 50-50
Oh, it's
now.
50-50 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so perfect. So 50-50. So you can pay for your fall semester first, and then you're going to pay for your second semester a little bit later. So no panic there.
You can also pay it all up front if you'd like to do that. So say you wanted to pay for everything right in September, then you could do that as well.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, from Dan, is the July 5th residence letter a letter or electronic? And will there be plans if there's a postal strike?
So a wonderful
Oh, wow,
question.
good
Yes.
question, Dan.
It is electronic, so it will be sent to your Trent U account, and to accept your offer in residence, you will have to log into the application again. So keep checking your Trent U accounts on July 5th, and that's where you will receive your offer of residence.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great question, Dan. Rachel has a question. She's a part-time student with a car. Can she opt out of the bus pass and gym membership?
As far as I know, at this time, you cannot opt out of either of those, but you can always look into a parking pass. So I believe if you go to trentu.ca/parking, you can look into the different options that are available there.
All right. Now, a question from Jasmine. How do I know which college to pick that would best fit me? This is an awesome question, and Jasmine, you're not the first person to ask this. So many people ask this question all the time. Who wants to answer it? Anybody have an? I'll pass it off. Who would like to answer that one?
You can go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. I think it really just depends on your personality. When I came to Trent University, I just kind of read about them in the online and stuff, and I figured out which one I thought would fit best with me. So it's really what you're feeling. You can always change it though. So if you decided to affiliate with one college and then made some friends in a different college and decided that you were more connected with another one, you can always change that. So nothing's permanent. You can change that as many times as you want.
Perfect. Question from Roman. When moving out of residence at the end of the year, is there a place to store furniture? I'm guessing you're thinking that you are going to come back into residence the following year, or moving into an apartment?
That's a good question. If you are living in residence, we do not allow any additional furniture to be brought in, but if you're looking to store bins of clothes or any kind of items, we do not offer storage here, but there's a lot of storage lockers around campus that many students tend to use. They tend to share them with other students, so that's always a great option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Hillary, for you, how do the health benefits work? I think we touched on this earlier. Are they included in the tuition, or is there an extra fee? And then is there an opt-out, I guess, if you don't want health benefits?
Yeah, so there is, they are charged as part of your ancillary fees with your tuition. But say, for example, you had coverage with your parents that was deemed to be the same or more coverage coverage is what is offered by Trent, then you are able to opt out of that and to get your money back. There is a deadline, so if you go to the Trent Central Student Association website, you can get more information there, as well as information about what all is covered in the health benefits package. But just keep an eye out for that deadline, because if you do go past the deadline, then you're unable to opt out. I believe last year it was October 1st that was the deadline. So this year it should be similar to around that time as well.
Okay, that's great. Well, I think we're kind of caught up on the questions. Does anyone else joining the webinar here have questions for us about residence, course registration, summer orientation sessions that are taking place? I know it's an exciting and like scary time altogether, right? There's so many things to think about, and now that you've got your exams out of the way, for sure, you're full steam ahead on thinking about coming to Trent, and we are so excited for you to arrive. We've all had amazing university experiences and can't wait for you to start yours as well. Oh, there's a question from Yash. How long is the orientation in September? So the start of the year. How many days does summer or the September orientation? How long is it?
So it'll go until the Friday of that first week of school. So I'm not 100% sure of the date, but it does go until that Friday. And sometimes there is programming on the Saturday as well. So throughout that first week of school, and it will start, as we had mentioned before, right after move-in day.
Good. And then for the Durham campus, it's September 6th and 7th that are the orientation days. So there's lots of fun, social, and really informative things going on those dates as well. So whichever campus you're coming to, we have amazing supports for you to get you to your classes, to get you from your residence to breakfast. Don't worry, there's going to be people everywhere to help you figure out where you're going and what's next on your agenda. You're going to meet so many amazing people. A few more questions here. Can children be added to the benefits, or is it strictly for students?
Oh, I know that one.
You do?
I do.
Awesome. I have no idea.
No, so if you do have a child who is a dependent of you, you can fill out a form to have them included into your benefits, but you would have to pay an additional fee to have them opt into your benefits.
Okay, and Nicholas is asking as well about healthcare coverage. Does alternate healthcare coverage have to be with our parents, or can we purchase a plan elsewhere if we want?
Yeah, so it could be coverage from if you wanted to purchase your own plan, or it doesn't have to be under your parents. It's just any other health coverage that is deemed to be to an equal or greater amount of coverage that you would get through the coverage with the Trent Central Student Association.
All right. And Rachel wants to know if tuition deposit goes towards the cost of tuition. I'm going to say yes on that one. I'm pretty sure that that makes sense. So yes, it'll all come towards your tuition. And Leah, will you be asked to leave the university if you are unable to pay fees by the deadlines? Certainly, the finance office is going to want to speak with you. I'm sure what they'll ask is to set up a meeting so that you can discuss your situation. If you are in financial need, I certainly encourage you to stop by the financial aid office and talk with them about the options. Please be applying for OSAP and all of the other great helps out there from the Ontario government and the federal government as well. So there's lots of ways to help you fund your education. It should never be that you have to leave the university because you don't have enough money to pay. Deadlines are important, so we do want to honor them, but we will do our best to help you if you're in that situation. How do you register for courses? It's not working for me and I've tried multiple times. Okay, so Devni, I think you would be best to give Hillary a call tomorrow morning. So we do have our orientation team there on the phones. So please check the orientation website and call the orientation team. What's the number they're calling you at, Hillary, just so that we've got that?
So it's 705-748-1011, and then you're going to put in extension 7888.
Perfect. Okay, so Devni, hopefully Hillary will be able to help you tomorrow when you call. And if it's not Hillary there's lots of other great student staff that will help you make sure that you can register for your courses. Yash has a question about residents. Can you invite friends over?
You absolutely can invite friends over. We do have a policy where you're allowed one overnight guest a night, so you can only have one person staying overnight with you, but you can have friends over whenever you would like.
That's great. Okay. Any more questions out there before we come to the end of this webinar? It's been a pleasure. This has been lots of fun. We hope it's been informative for you and you've learned lots and you're even more excited to come in September. And don't forget, come for summer orientation. Those are awesome times to visit and get to know other students before you show up in September. One more question from Yash. Can I stay at residence during the holidays? So perhaps over the Christmas holidays or reading break?
So that's a great question. Residences are open during reading weeks, so you do not need to leave residence then. During December break, though, after exams before the new year in January, residences are closed. So we will need people to find alternative options if they're unable to go home at that time. So unfortunately, not during the winter break, but definitely during any kind of holiday throughout the year.
Great. Okay. One last question from Bronwyn. How do health benefits work if you're coming from a different province?
That's a great question. I think it would probably differ depending on which province it is. My suggestion would be to contact the Trent Central Student Association, and you can find all their contact information on their website, and they'll definitely be able to direct you to the best answer for that.
Okay, great. Yash has a question about international students. So is there help for international students? So we know international students have a whole set of different things that they need to think about when they're traveling to Canada to study. So yes, we have an awesome international office here to help you. It's called the Trent International Program, and there's many supports there, whether you are struggling with, you have visa problems, you want to find housing, you want to know about, where your classes are and all of those important things that you need to know, cultural questions, how do I find the grocery store, all of those things. We do have a great support team at the Trent International Program office, and there's lots of information on their website as well. Can we pop the website up there for? Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Any other questions before we conclude? All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We wish you all the best over your summer. Relax, enjoy, work hard if you've got a part-time job to help pay for university, and get prepared for September. We're so excited to have you and look forward to you joining the Trent community in September. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.